As mentioned earlier, okay, nagkaroon ng geomagnetic storm noong September, ano ba to? Anong November 12. Okay, so right now we're going to look at this, I don't know, look at this storm. No? But so you already know my websites. Yeah, Space Weather Philippines for more info. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay, this is our latest 3 days, but I will go to open this and then I'll go to 7 days. May version kasi ito ng 3 day, ano lang, three periods. 1 day, 3 days, saka 7 days. So this is the plot provided real not real time near real time plot of the space environments um, provided by the Space Weather Prediction Center. Okay, so this covers the last 7 days of two main plasma regimes, in solar wind regime and the geomagnetic field regime. Okay, so the first four rows are as follows. So in first row is the magnetic field of the IMF. White is total, and then red is red is um, Z component. Okay, so pinapakita Z component to tell because that's the one parameter that we have to look at, okay, in order to check whether there is an ongoing storm. Okay, the second row is density. Okay, density of the solar wind. Okay, because the solar wind is a background solar wind, and then the CME, okay, is another chunk of plasma. Kapag na-receive siya ni ACE or Discover satellite, this is measured by ACE or Discover, I'm not sure about it. Okay, yung mami-measure ni ACE satellite will be different. Ito yung background solar wind, and then ito ngayon yung a different type of a different a plasma of different characteristics. So this is density in particles per cubic cm, the solar wind speed, and this is plasma temperature. Okay, so from here you can actually see that at this time you will notice that there's a large change from the background solar wind. So this is the background solar wind, very low magnetism, very low density, very stable, very stable, very stable speed. In fact, nag-slow down nga yung solar wind at this time from 600 to about 400. And then plasma temperature is fairly stable at around 10,000 Kelvin. Okay, but when the CME hits, you will see that nagkaroon ng yung magnetic field that the A satellite measures becomes intensified. So ito na yung CME na dumating. Okay, and then and it appears that there's initially the component of the magnetic field of the IMF has a large southward component. Almost all of it is southward component, if you can notice it now. Kasi total intensity is about 50 nanotesla here. And then the south component is about negative 50 nanotesla. So most likely pointing downward yung IMF at that time with small components of other with small intensities from the other components. Then yung density tumaas, the solar wind becomes erratic. In fact, it reached to as much as 900 kilometers per second after a day before it starts to go to normal conditions. then temperature becomes unstable as well. Okay, so if we're going to go to the KP index, for example, okay, so you will notice here that during the before the CME hits, the KP index is fairly normal, it's very quiet. Itong ano to, yung blue or yung cyan bars. So the KP index range from 0.3 to 4. So this is a quiet condition, but when the CME hit, it it goes straight up to 8.67 or 8, that's 9 minus for other scales, but basically it's almost 9, so it's almost at the max already. Okay, and if we're going to look at the DST index, there's a short, okay, there's a short sudden commencement, then it goes straight down to negative 235 before it starts to recover. So right now, I think it's a wind record. Okay, the geomagnetic field have recovered based on the KP index, which returned to quiet conditions in about on just before late November 13, and then as we speak. So, sabi ko rin kanina, di ba, you will notice, si DST index, yung red yung DST index, okay, it starts to recover and then bumaba ulit siya no November 13. So, you will notice here that, okay, yung initial impact niya ng CME na yon, okay, is actually like this, no? Negative, so humina, and then nag-negative dito, humina ulit, and then hindi na siya negative, tapos nagkaroon ng negative dito sa time na to, around November 13, kaya humina ulit siya ng bahagya. Okay? Now, what's interesting here is that prior to this, there are 3 CMEs that erupted that are associated with 3 solar flares. Okay, karoon ng 3, 3 solar flares dyan. We're going to go here sa this one. Karoon ng 3 solar flares. November, ito. November 12 yun. 3 solar flares, November 9, November 10, and November 11. November 11 is this is an X4 solar flare. So it's actually larger than the 3. Okay? So how do you know these 3 CMEs have, the CMEs associated with these 3 solar flares are actually observed sa Enlil model. Okay, so dito sa geospace, so saan ngayon siya nangyari? Okay, makikita ngayon siya dito. Okay, so this is the time where the first CME hit. Okay, kasi nagkaroon ka ng sudden change. Okay, and then somewhere here, sumunod agad. Okay, sumunod agad. Okay, sumunod agad yung pangalawang CME, and then combined effect. And then yung nag-produce ng yung X4 flare, yung as I mentioned, yung X4 flare is actually the second largest solar flare that happened the solar cycle, or at least this year, no? Okay, nag-arrive siya at this time. Because again, nagkaroon ng sharp increase. Nagkaroon ng sudden impact. Tawag nila dyan. So, nag-align yan dito. This one, nag-align siya dito, tapos nag-align siya dito. Okay? So you will notice here that even if you have a large solar flare, the impact of this, in fact, no, In fact, itong solar flare na to, itong CME na to that hit at this time, it did not produce any significant weakening. Partida. Okay, partida na yan na yung magnetic field natin is already weak. Nagre-recover pa lang. So even if the CME is produced by a large solar flare, doesn't necessarily mean that it will produce a big geomagnetic storm. Okay? Marami akong nabasa sa social media that's yung nag-hit noong November 12, yung geomagnetic storm noong November 12 is because of that X4 solar flare. It's wrong. Okay, bakit? Masyadong mabilis yung effect niya. So sabi ko kanina, solar flare is different from CME. Si solar flare, ang effect niya electromagnetically can reach Earth about 8 minutes. Si solar flare, si CME will take, if not hours, days. Etong geomagnetic storm na to nag-hit at around start of November 12. So let's say at 0 UT, ramdaman na natin siya. Okay? We're going to notice here that big solar flare, that X4 solar flare, it actually erupted at around 12 UT, 11 or 12 UT of November 11. So it's impossible for the CME here to reach the Earth in 6 hours OT. Okay? So may ganong misconception. In fact, ang talaga nangyari is that the first CME that arrived is actually produced by this solar flare. The solar flare na to sumunod, okay, around the same time, so para nagpag-abot sila, and then yung CME that is produced by this flare, November 11, actually arrived November 12, pero medyo late na. At around siguro mga 20 UT siguro ito. Okay? So that's what that's what I'm saying, that you have to be careful in identifying whether a certain CME arrived and if that CME is the one that is detected here. Okay, so titingnan natin yung timing, titingnan din natin if the CME is actually a halo CME or a limb CME. Kasi pag limb CME, ang direction niya sidewards. It's also possible that depende kung saan nag-erupt yung solar flare that produced the CME, okay, it doesn't mean that it will hit the Earth. So it depends also kung nasaan yung active region na nag-produce ng solar flare na yun. Okay, so it's actually a balance, and it's a balance of all information available to us. Questions po? By the way, side note, as I mentioned earlier, it's also possible that a single solar flare, a single active region could produce a lot of solar flares. These 4 solar flares that are X class in nature, they are all generated or produced by the solar flare active region 4274. Simula siya here, then napunta siya here during its time sa earth facing side ng sun, it produced 4 X class solar flare. Okay, next assignment is this. In connection to your last assignment, di ba yung solar wind assignment natin, wherein sa solar wind assignment, you will determine whether the CMEs that you've identified before actually hit Earth by looking at the solar wind parameters, IMF, density, and speed. Okay, now you're going to now look at if those yung level of geomagnetic storm that it produced by plotting the KP index and the DST index. Saan nyo kukunin yung KP index and DST index? Pupunta kayo sa World Data Center ng Kyoto University, World Data Center for Geomagnetism, Kyoto University. Pupunta kayo dito sa Geomagnetic Data Service. Okay. And then you're going to go to ito, yung final this portal. Okay? Either punta ka ng real time, kung recent lang, depende sa time and dates, provisional, or yung final DST that can be straight, that can be traced back as early as 1957, where a geomagnetic storm that happened January 21. 21. Yeah. Okay. Okay? So, ang gagawin nyo, ipa-plot nyo, ito. Hindi nyo ito ipa-plot. Ipa-plot nyo yung equal time lang. Okay? So, kailangan nyo matuto paano i-plot yung DST index. So, aside from this, you can get yung KP index from this one. This is KP index. Okay? The download nyo rito from here by using this prompt para ma-plot nyo yan. You can also go to another external source, which is this one. So, pwede nyo rin siyang i-download dito. So, this is a KP index in the past 1 week. Okay? So, ganun lang. Diba, yung sa assignment nyo last week, ito yung pinapagawa ko sa inyo. Next ay idudugtong nyo na ito. Again, DST index lang, that's the red part, red plot, and the blue plot here, that's a KP index. Similar to this two, yung C and D.